Hello guys, and welcome back to Revise Enterprise. Today we're going to be having a look at a 6-mark calculation question from the BTEC Tech Award in Enterprise Level 1 and 2 from Pearson. So what I'd like to do today is work through the question with you together and hopefully get you a little bit of confidence in achieving 6 marks out of 6 in an exam style situation. So let's go ahead first of all and read through the question together and see if we can pick out any key points that are going to help us answer this competently. So it says, Jasmina wants to know if she has enough cash to increase her promotional budget to help her enterprise grow. She has started to complete a cash flow statement for the past year, and your task is to complete the cash flow statement, which is in fact partially done already for October, November and December. And there's 6 different gaps here on the cash flow statement that you need to fill in to complete this question. Now it's worth noting before we start answering this question that you could get a cash flow statement in an exam. Cash flow statements basically show a real representation of cash flow over a 12-month period, whereas you could also get questions on cash flow forecasts, and forecasts are of course a prediction of what might happen over a 12-month period. In this case, we're going to do a cash flow statement. Now, the easiest way to tackle these questions are to do it a month at a time. So we're going to do October 1st, the whole column, then we're going to do November, and then finally we're going to do December, the last column. And the tools you'll need to complete this question are just a pencil, and you'll also need a calculator, which you're allowed to bring into the exam with you as well. So here's a couple of points or tips on what are the different sections, first of all, of a cash flow statement. So cash inflows is basically the money that is coming into the enterprise. So when it says inflow, that is money that is generated coming into the enterprise. Cash outflows is the money going out of the enterprise. The net cash flow is the difference between your cash inflows and your cash outflows. So literally to work that out, you do your total cash inflows minus your cash outflows. You've got your opening balance, which is what the enterprise is starting with. So at the beginning of the month, how much money do they have? And then your closing balance is how much the enterprise has at the end of a month of trading. So let's go ahead and see if we can fill in the missing blanks and get 6 marks on this question. So we know for October the total inflows were £2,100. We know the income from regular domestic gardening customers was already £1,400. So to find the additional domestic gardening jobs figure, all we need to do is your total inflows minus the existing figure here for regular domestic gardening customers. So in your exam, if I just move this a little bit further up the screen so you can see the whole question. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to do on our calculator 2,100 minus 1,400, which gives us a figure of £700. So I'm going to write my answer 700 in this box here. That's our first answer. Okay. Going down now to the total outflows. So we know the total inflows for this enterprise for October is £2,100, and we know the net cash flow is £800. Now net cash flow, going back to what I said a minute ago, is the difference between the inflows and the outflows. So to find the total outflows here, we just need to do 2,100 minus 800, our net cash flow. So let's do that now. So on our calculator, if you can see this on your screen, we're going to do 2,100 minus 800, which gives us a figure of £1,300. So we're going to write that in as our second answer here. And then the last figure it's looking for at the bottom, everybody, is closing balance. Now to work out your closing balance, the little formula you need is your net cash flow plus your opening balance. So that's 800 plus 300. So to work out your closing balance in the exam, you're going to do 800 plus 300, which gives you £1,100. So we're going to write that down at the bottom. £1,100. So that's October fully done. We've got our additional domestic gardening jobs figure in there is 700. We know our cash outflows now are £1,300, and we know our closing balance is £1,100. Let's go to the next column. So if you're in the exam, we're going to do it a column at a time. So this time we're going to go down to November. And of course, November, you are missing the net cash flow figure. So have in your mind how to figure out the net cash flow. So it's your total inflows minus your total outflows. So again, if you need assistance in your exam, you can use a calculator. So you're going to do 1,800 minus 1,200. Which is £600 for your net cash flow for November. So that's November done pretty quickly, which is good. And then finally, you're going to move on to December, which is the last column we're going to fill in. So we know already for December, our total inflows are £1,500. And we know already that our additional domestic gardening jobs, we've turned over £400 from that. So of course, to find our December income for regular domestic gardening customers, we must do 1,500 minus 400. So let's do that now. So again, if you want to use a calculator in your exam as assistance, then you can. So that would be £1,100. So £1,100 for regular domestic gardening customers for December. And then finally, it wants to note for December the opening balance, which is just here for your final mark. Now, a little tip for you: your opening balance is always your closing balance from the previous month. All right. So if you know what your closing balance is for November, which is £1,700, you can just go ahead and you can write that in here. So your opening balance is always your closing balance from the previous month. A little tip for you just to speed things up in an exam situation for you. Now, providing you do that a column at a time, just like I've done there for October, November and December, so working through it systematically, you can achieve 6 marks out of 6 if this was a typical exam situation. I really hope this video was useful for you. If you found the video useful and you like the content on the channel, please like the video and please subscribe to Revise Enterprise, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.